All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm so excited. I could finally have a beer. Oh my god, I finally got off these antibiotics, man. I've been struggling. Today we have Scott with the Western Christian Advocacy Group. I knew I was gonna mess it up. I almost had it.
All right. All right, you're good.
Advocacy Group. Jesus, I don't know why that word's so hard for me. But Scott, thank you for taking the time, man. I really appreciate it. And Scott has been on the ground. With the No Kings protest part two, and yeah, he's coming to talk about what he saw and little the hatred that you received. I saw some of those messages.
Oh yeah.
I I get a lot of those. Man, they hate me. They'll if you do not agree and align with them ideology, like with their ideologies, man, they go straight to you need to die.
Yeah.
It goes from 0 to 100 real quick.
There's some horrible
And
people.
go ahead, Scott. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother. And again, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, John. Appreciate it. Appreciate all your work. Yeah, I'm Scott. I'm in Utah, and I always wanted to be a little more active online. And being at the Charlie Kirk event where he was killed just kind of pushed me over the top because you do worry about left-wing terrorism because it's a thing. And just for I mean, look what happened to Charlie Kirk. So and he was just trying to have conversations with people. But after seeing that, I'm like, man, I gotta do more. It's what I wanted to do anyway, and so just barely started since then, and went to the No Kings protest as well, and yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I've said that many times too. Charlie Kirk was definitely one of the more milk toast kind of conservatives to me. I'm a very outspoken, like if Charlie Kirk offends you, I'm probably your worst enemy because Charlie Kirk is very polite, very Christian, like he treats everybody the way he'd want to be treated, and that's one thing that's why he's so beloved by so many, and that's why so many people were affected by his death. Myself and my friends that I do this podcast with, and just everybody I know, it was one of those things like you're always going to remember, like the JFK, when you hear your parents talk about the JFK assassination. I feel like that's mine, and or like the Martin Luther King one. That's our generation one because it was. I almost thought like, there's no way, bro. There's no way. When I saw it though, the video, I already knew like there's no way he's making it because you could just see all the stuff, and and I'm not gonna pull the video up because I mean everybody's seen it,
Yeah,
and it was a crazy. So I would love to hear what brought you to or are you from Utah, by the
yeah.
way?
I'm from Utah. I'm a
Okay.
pioneer descendant. You
Nice.
want to know a fun fact? If you're pioneer descent in Utah, you're probably 10th cousins with everyone else who's pioneer descent in Utah.
Oh, y'all are all one, huh? Um, that's awesome. I did not know that. I've never been to Utah. It looks beautiful. I'm from
Mhm.
Texas. We got flat land. That's all we got. We got a lot of
Yeah.
land. That's about it. But tell me, what took you to the Charlie Kirk event, and is it far from you? Did you have to travel? And also, how was the vibe there when you were there, like in the beginning?
Well, shoot, to be honest, I showed up kind of late with my friend. She invited me. And so, I could hear them. We were like 15, 20 minutes late. We could hear them, cheering even as we were like a couple hundred meters off. And so we're like, oh, yeah, it's already starting. It looks like people are having fun. And so I just get to the back of the crowd. And we're starting to walk to get closer. And that's when I hear the gunshot. And,
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I'm a Marine Corps veteran. So I'm like, it sounded like a gunshot, even though some people around me were like, no, I think it's fireworks. So then, of course, people started screaming and running. And so, yeah, I just, you see school shootings on the news, unfortunately, too many times. And I've thought before, man, maybe I could help. And so I just, dropped to a knee and I thought I'd look for the shooter. Of course, he was above me 2 stories on the building. I had no idea where the gunshot came from because where Charlie was, it's surrounded by concrete. And so it just echoed, and I didn't even know where to look really. So I just looked all around. But yeah, pretty unfortunate. And yeah, that's kind of just what pushed me over the edge to not worry so much about left-wing terrorism. Because if it's going to come to Charlie Kirk, and things keep getting worse as we've seen them, the more you stay silent, at least for me, maybe if I started an accounts longer ago, I could have made a bigger difference, by now.
Yeah, it's definitely people need to talk out, especially with the left wing terrorism. I mean, we see it over and over again. It just constant now. They're trying to kill Stephen Miller. They're trying to kill. I mean, anybody that talks against their their Bible, which is like the DEI, identity politics, Marxist, communist BS. And thank you for your service, Marine. Awesome. I used to work on Camp
My
Pendleton.
pleasure. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I used to work at the country store on Camp Pendleton a long time ago. For about 2 years, I was in Oceanside, and beautiful place, man. Too bad
Uh,
Gavin Newsom screwed that place.
yeah.
And just to stay, I want to stay because I always get off topic. I have ADHD and I start going on rants. So you just got there and you went like right when you got there, within a couple of minutes. You're saying like the shot went off.
Well, shoot. Well, because we were walking from the there's like a road and sidewalk. We were a couple blocks back, but as you're walking up across campus, you can hear them. And so we go through the building and we get to the courtyard where he is with all the people. And just right when we get to the courtyard and we start walking up, that's when the gunshot happened. And so we
Wow.
literally just got there in the back of the crowd and we're walking closer so we could get a better view.
I have not met anybody or talked to anybody about like that has been there. So that's a first. And what was the vibe like? I saw you're very calm, and I was gonna ask you too because I saw the video that you posted on Instagram, and I was like, man, this dude's way too calm. He has to be a veteran. He has to be because you're just like, and I'm gonna show this video so people know what I'm talking about. But you're just like, oh yes, like something happened, and I'm like, this. I would be like, oh shit, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot, so don't take me serious.
No,
But
you're good. You're good.
I did get to see Charlie Kirk out here in San Antonio, Texas, a while back, and it
Oh,
happened.
nice.
It was the next day after the October 6th situation, and the reason I remember that really well is because we were very excited to hear him speak, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna see Charlie Kirk, and he was at UTSA, which is the University of Texas San Antonio. Um, and it was kind of a small event. It wasn't as big as the Las Vegas. I mean, not Las Vegas. The Utah one that y'all were at. But we were really excited to hear him talk, and he basically just stayed on the Israel situation, which it was a hot topic. I'm not blaming him for that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but it was like, man, I really wanted to hear him speak about other things. But it was really cool. He's really tall. I was surprised, like, damn, this dude's tall.
I
He
thought it
was
was,
he was like six something, man. He was about 6'2",
oh,
6'3". He was a big dude. Like he
oh,
was
dang.
he's tall and skinny. And yeah, man, that's unfortunate you didn't get to hear him talk much. So
Yeah.
um that's pretty crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that video because I want just people to see what was going on in that situation for you guys. I mean for you. I think this is the one right here. By the way, if you don't follow him, right here, West Christ I guess that's the abbreviation. Yeah, so go ahead and follow him at West Chris Ag, and he has some videos for you guys, so you can go ahead and see what he's been doing on the ground. All right,
Oh,
let's go ahead and check it out.
You can go inside. I'm gonna see where they shot.
And again, very very calm demeanor, man. Like I knew you had to be a vet. So just looking at that, does it bring back any like crazy memories to you, or do you feel a certain way when you see that video again?
no, that was about it. But like I said, just like I said, just reminds me, because I've always wanted to help improve my community and our country, and part of me thinks maybe if I would have spoke up sooner, I would have had more influence to make more change. Who knows? Maybe a little bit more influence would have helped prevent him from getting shot. You never know, you know. But yeah, this, like I said, just one more stick that broke the camel's back, and so I'm looking to try and make change, especially, you know, as I see things getting worse, even in schools and here in Utah, so that I can, you know, help protect and make a better life for my family.
For sure. I wanted to show this. I remember you had the second one, so this is kind of like the stuff going on, I believe.
That was right before.
You can go inside.
Okay, that's the same. Yeah, that's the same one. Yeah, man, that is. I mean, that's crazy that you were there for that moment. That's something that is going to be in the history books, and I believe they said they were going to give them a holiday. I'm not sure if that's going to go through, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Oh, no, I was agreeing with you. I think I heard that too, and I know that some people petitioned to have a Charlie Kirk memorial, and of course, there was a couple protesting against it that looked like a stereotypical woke person. But
Let me guess: fat, blue hair, purple hair, and
no, just
face
well,
piercings.
if it was a woman, but it was a male, so he looked scrawny,
That
grungy. He was well spoken though. He was a nice guy at least. But at least there was some conservative at UVU who was challenging his ideas. Because I think we can make a lot better difference in the world when we challenge these ridiculous ideas and the hypocrisy and the extremism on the left, because you know they defend their ideas with terrorism, with violence, and with hate, and so that's why people don't speak up more. And then these people, they don't hear any other idea and they think, oh, everybody agrees with me, you know, we are fighting fascism, we're fighting Nazis, we're heroes. And but since they're never challenged and they live in an echo chamber, you know, they just believe the craziest stuff, like, oh, men can be women and blah blah blah. But so I think it's great that I saw a video, like I said, that kid at UVU was challenging those protesters, because that's what we have to start doing. And you don't have to be rude or nasty, but I think any false idea or hypocrisy, we need to challenge and question the people who speak them. And I think
yeah,
we'll change a lot more minds, because a lot of people, frankly, are sheep.
hmm.
You know, it's part of the reason I think Jesus said, "Go feed my sheep," because he knew a lot of them will just follow the crowd. And so whether you're a shepherd or whether you're a wolf, they'll follow you. And so we need to be better shepherds.
I totally agree with you on that. But the thing is, I don't think there's much talking to these people because they're just so, like you said, they're in an echo chamber. But it's not just that; like they see what they believe as like that's their religion, right? And, and I'm not like a man of faith in that way, but I respect everybody's religion. But like a lot of people, you take Christ out or you take God out, religion out, right? They will put something in, and what they put is their ideology, and that's their religion now. It's blasphemous to talk about trans. It's blasphemous to talk about, you know, women being a little weaker than men, or it's a lot weaker, but you know, it's just almost like it's kind of like just crazy to them, like why you would even come up with that idea, like how dare you say that, you know? And it's wild to them. And I'm one of those people. I'm tired of this. We need to come together. This is just me, and you could disagree with me, and respectfully, I'll respect your opinion on this. I cannot come to the middle with a bunch of people that want to do a lot of, I mean, that want to just continue child sacrifice, continue child mutilation, continue child sex trafficking, unfettered illegal immigrants coming in. We see, I mean, these semi trucks, we've seen already how many, like three or four. I'm sure there's way more, but they haven't gotten attention, that are just killing civilians. We've seen the rapes, the murders, I mean, everything that's come along with that. And their solution to the problem is you're racist, you're a bigot, you're this, you're this. And especially you're a white man. So I could imagine you get all that. With me, I'm just a disgrace to my race. You know, I'm a race. Like that's what they tell me all the time. Because when you're brown or black and you don't agree and get off that liberal plantation, it's almost like, like, why would you do that? You're going against your own people. And it's like, my people are Americans. I don't know. Like, I,
Amen.
yeah, like these are my people. You're my people. Whoever's an American, you're my people, and I want to help you. But when you're actively trying to destroy my country, I cannot come to the middle with you. I cannot come to the middle with you if you want to implement socialism, you want to implement communism, and you want to implement DEI and this terrible policies that just end up hurting people. But it makes you feel good because you unlimited people in, but you're hurting everybody. And you live in your gated communities where you don't have to deal with it. But people like me do. I got to deal with it. I lived like probably 7-minute drive, and there's a back roads by the immigrant center, by the illegal center here in San Antonio, Texas. Tell my wife, do not open the door for nobody.
Dang.
My friends had Ring cameras, and they were showing faking that they had like their hands were bleeding. They're like, "Are you the man? Are you the?" I don't know if you know Spanish, but it means like, "Help me." And then when they wouldn't help
Yeah, I
them,
do.
okay, and then when they wouldn't help them, they would just be like, "Chinga tu madre," and start talking shit in Spanish. And it was like, dude, and I don't want to get that call while I'm at work, like, hey, they went in your house, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was a burden on us all, like all this shit, all this money that they're getting. You go to the we have HEB here, which is the main grocery store. You see them, they have their EBT cards, they're getting so much food, and we're like struggling to pay groceries, and it's an insult.
Heck yeah. No, I completely agree.
Yes.
And so that's what we should unite against. It's not just, oh, let's unite and even though you guys have gone so far left that you're destroying the country just to keep votes, that, oh, look, what we should like give up some of our values just to match your extremism. No, we should unite to support correct principles, like the ones you mentioned.
I that's what I'm saying, but they are not on that same page because they don't believe in those principles. They don't believe in what made America what it is, the success, and in such a short time. We're barely getting to our 250th anniversary, and next year, and it's like when you think about it in historical terms, I mean, we became so powerful so fast and held it for a long time, and it's like we're at that point where weak men are going to create hard times, and we've been here for a little bit, and yeah, I just don't see, I don't see how we can. I believe in still changing people's minds. Don't get me wrong. I believe in talking and all that, but are they willing to change their minds? That's the one hard part, and I'm struggling with. Like I don't know if they're willing to even have an open mind to that.
Yeah, I guess some people definitely aren't, but like I said, I still believe most are sheep, and once the tide starts turning, they will follow. But it's more about overcoming and being stronger than the wolves that are in sheep's clothing. Because, like I said, I feel like people like sheep look for protection, and I think the Democrats have done a good job at that. I mean, not with white people because they're incredibly anti-white, but with pretty much every other race, unless you disagree with them, then you get some, like I saw your clip with another Latin girl and about how they say you guys want to be white, except, and I myself, I'm half Hispanic. And I've lived in Latin America and traveled there. I have friends and family, and then they get these ridiculous ideas like, "Oh, you're trying to be white or whatever." But it's like, you do realize that millions of Latinos are white because they're a mix of white Spanish, and brown Indian. It's like look at Canelo. It's just ridiculous. But
Yeah, Canelo's he's a ginger. They have no souls. I just
yeah, his brother looks just like him, but he's just got brown hair.
The one thing I like about Canelo is when he talks Spanish, he does sound like a legit dude. But when he talks English, he says, "Oh, I fuck you up," and it just sounds so like weak, and it's like, "Oh, Canelo, come on, bro, just talk Spanish, bro. You sound like you, you're not
That's so
threatening
funny.
at all with your English. Like when you talk, like, I fuck you up, I fucking hit you, you go hit floor," and it's like, "Oh, dude, please." And I love Canelo. I'm a big fan of Canelo, bro. This dude, he comes to San Antonio quite a bit. So yeah, and big fan, but it's just like, just talk Spanish, bro. Don't worry. You're in, like, most of the time he's talking to like the Latino crowd anyways. We'll be fine. But definitely, yes, that is 100% true. I just did that interview yesterday with her. Just met her on Instagram as well, like I did with you, and it's all the time, and it's not even like I was trying to say. I don't know if we got to watch the whole thing, but I was saying like I never in my life thought I want to be white, and I know we're white like in our birth certificates, like in that way, and of course the conquistadors when they came over, we have a lot of Spanish blood as well as the Filipinos, and a lot of basically the Caribbean, and when I'm when I'm talking whenever anytime you can articulate yourself really well and you show them that you know what you're talking about, because a lot of these people, like you said, they're in echo chambers, they don't know what they're talking about. And when you show them these facts, they just go straight to like, oh, you think you're one of them, you'll never fit in. Oh my god, why is my chin went out for a second? I don't know why. I have good internet, but yeah, they'll always resort to the name calling, and you'll never be one of them, you'll never be one of them, and it's like, I don't know where you get that I want to be like. I believe in, if you're a good person, I don't care what color you are, I'll hang out with you and we'll kick it. I don't care about that shit at all. At all. You were in the Marines, so I'm sure you dealt with so many different types of people, right?
Yeah. Well, my unit was in LA, so it was mostly Mexicans, but
Yeah.
there was a good couple other white guys, a couple Asians, a couple Arabs. So, but it was a good time.
Nice, nice. And just I wanted to go back to this, but I wanted to stay on the Charlie. That's why earlier. Where else were you stationed during your time, and how long were you in the military?
Oh, I did 7 years, and so most of those were reserve, but like 3 years active duty. And so my unit was near LA. I'm an artillery officer, and so, or I'm a veteran. And so mainly, spent some time at 29 Palms, the desert of
Ooh.
California,
Ooh.
and spent, of course, some Camp Pendleton, deployment to Japan.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah. And yeah, I think that's about it. Camp Pendleton, 29 Palms, and Okinawa, Japan. So
Shutter Island, huh?
what?
I know how y'all call it Shutter Island, the Marines.
Shutter Island?
Yeah, other Marines would say, because they get like that island they were always like, man, it's cool at first, and then they hate it after a while because it's so small.
Oh,
It Okinawa. I used to live in Japan for a long time, and my wife's from Japan, so
really?
yeah, so I go every year. I
Oh,
get
nice.
Yeah, so I lived in Osaka, but we used to go. My cousin was in the Marines, and he was stationed in Pendleton. And for some reason, it's like I have an act for this. Every time I would go, is when a Marine would do something stupid, and you know what I'm talking about with the driving. And every time I'm like, God damn it! And then my cousin would tell me, God, dude, something bad happened, So they would be out there protesting and shit, and I'll be like, ah, dude, every time, every time. But
Like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, no, it was Japan's a beautiful place, man. I loved it. I don't know, how did you feel about Okinawa?
Oh, it was beautiful. I loved it. And uh, yeah, the people were really nice. The place was really clean. It was low crime. It's like when I first showed up, Sergeant Major told me, he's like, unfortunately, the military is the most dangerous thing on this island. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's how safe Japan is. And one thing that was surprising to me, because growing up in America, especially growing up white, you're taught, oh, just ignore race. It doesn't matter. And America was always multicultural, even though it really wasn't. And oh, cities are supposed to be from people from all over the world, and violence is just a part of that. But then you go to Japan and you go to Tokyo, and you're like, it's like majority Japanese here, and it's very safe. It's very clean. There's almost no homeless. And then you see what's happening in America and the West with the replacement migration, and you learn out it's part of communist plot to destroy the West and rule over them. And so you're like, dang, even in a big city, it should be really safe and really clean. I mean, just like in Poland or whatever. And so, or even today now in El Salvador.
Yeah, it's a very homogenous place in Japan, for sure. And they just elected their first female prime minister, and that chick is like, I'm sending everybody home. Like everybody's going home. I don't give a shit. You overstay, you're going home. And a lot of people are ready. You already see a lot of these liberals, and they're real Japanese people as well, talking about, oh my God, throwing like what they threw at Trump. And being a Hispanic person, Mexican American, I am 100% for deporting anybody that's here illegally. I don't shy away from that. I don't care if you are here illegally. You stepped in line in front of people that are trying to come in the right way, and you need to go back home. You need to go over your place of origin, and you need to do things the right way. You cannot, and I hate the whole argument. It's a misdemeanor. I don't give a shit. It's a crime, and you need to be taken away. We don't need to. And I'm for like, even though I'm even for the point of why are we giving all these people so much welfare, and that's the incentive to come. And like you said, the replacement theory, it definitely is the browning of America. Like, just bring everyone from the South America and bring them in. Diversity, I think diversity is a good thing, but it's still like you have to have the same common morals. You have to have the same common attitudes and assimilate. Like, like myself, to be wave. I would never wave a Mexican flag because I'm like, yeah, that's not who I am. I'm American. Like I don't give a shit about that place. Like it's not my place. And assimilation is almost like a bad word now. As like if you say something like that, oh, they need to come in, speak English, and assimilate. They're always, oh my God, no, they got to keep their culture. No, a lot of the culture they come from is shit. If their culture was so good, they wouldn't need to be here. No, they need to leave that shit culture behind. So leave that shit culture behind, and then they need to come in and adapt to our culture and actually do what we do, because obviously what we're doing has been successful.
No, yeah, you make some good points. Because, like I said, and that's one of the things I've been learning more is studying about race and culture. Ever since I had sociology of race class at BYU, which is it's a Christian school, and LDS Mormon Christians we're usually more conservative, and I knew the class was going to be kind of skewed, but it was like completely skewed. It was all about, here's how blacks are victims of white people. Here's how Latinos are. Here's how Asians are. And then, wait, we're going to talk about the violence that white people experience from other races, or are we just going to talk about it the other way? And that's
Bigots,
all.
bigots. No, I'm just
Yeah, that's all it was. It was just a completely one-sided class, and I'm like, well, this is garbage. Like, I've seen videos of violence, I've seen statistics, I know it's out there, and they didn't even bring it up. It was just a purely communist oppressed framework that they filtered all the information into. And so, after that, you start learning more, and you're like, it's the people that create the culture that create the country, and so that's why things are as violent and as degraded today in the West. It's like, if you pick take all of the Somalians and replace them with the Norwegians in the land, Norway is gonna become Somalia, and Somalia is gonna become Norway. Because it all stems from the people.
Yeah, I mean, politics is downstream from culture, and we continue like to just adapt to them, and where they're, like you're talking about even Somalia, they're like they had that one drug lord that was eating people out of a trash bin. I don't know if you saw, if you remember that. Like, he had on fire, he just had like a leg in there, and it's like that was a drug lord. He does this to intimidate people, and it's like that's the culture they're coming from, and it's hard like for me, it's hard to even imagine why we would want to import that culture. Like, this is stupid. Like, it's and if you have kids, you always think like, I want to import the best of these people. And to be honest, a lot of these people probably need to stay in their country so they could better their own country. Like with H1Bs and all that with India, if they're that talented, right? Because we all know how India looks. We all know how it smells. I'm not trying to be mean, but I mean, these are facts.
It's a fact. We've
Why
seen the
can't
videos.
yes, you can smell it through the screen? It's like, it smells like crap. So why wouldn't they want to stay there if they're that great? Why wouldn't they be there? And I've told people that a lot of times, because they'll say, "Oh, the Mexican immigrants are what make America great." Well, why can't they make Mexico great?
That's exactly what I say. How come they didn't make Mexico great?
Yeah, like what is this? Like, I mean, make your country great. Like, what's going on? Like, it's so stupid to me. Okay, well, go back home and show them exactly what you had learned or what the capabilities that you have, and you can make your country great. But no, because they can't even answer that question because and then they would just say you're an idiot. Like I've heard that many times. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because it's like countries were formed for a specific race, a specific religion. That's why the borders exist. That's why they generally follow religious and racial lines. The borders in whatever part of the world you look at, and so they're made to look out for a certain people because there's 7 billion people in the world, and then you start importing people of all cultures, all religions, and whatever. Guess what? They're going to look out for primarily their own race, primarily their own religion, and then it's going to cause division, and then it's going to cause violence because you look at the different races based on their IQ. Different races have higher percentage of IQ than others, and then you look at the crime rate, and then you look at the tax contribution over a lifetime by race, and it's all different because of those differences in IQ and in behavior.
Yeah, I mean, and I know I know a lot of people have the argument like, well, we're starting off like you like white people had a head start, which is true. I mean, when you think about like historically, right? But still, that doesn't give you an excuse at this time in history. At this time, that doesn't give any Hispanic, Black, or Indian, or Asian, or anything. That doesn't give anybody an excuse to say, "Oh, well, y'all started ahead." Okay, but this has been years already. It's 1964 when we desegregated. I mean, everybody had an opportunity. There was still racism here and there, but I mean, you had a chance to make yourself better. It's not like Mexicans and blacks and Asians weren't able to read. Like, this ain't slave days. And it's like, yeah, you were able to educate yourself and find ways to make money because we've seen it. We've seen different races. We've seen like the Nigerians, for example, the ones that come here, they have their own communities. They're doing well economically. They're doing well educationally, and like they're not like light skinned black people. They're not like they're not Stephen Curry looking. They're dark black, and they're doing a good job because they know, hey, if we want to get ahead, we got to work hard, and that's the one thing like in America right now. And I do understand what you're like the whole let everybody come in has been a failure. I mean, we look at like America from the start when we just started letting everybody in from Eastern and Southern Europe. But at that time, those people came in and they assimilated and they came in knowing they're going to be American now. Like that's it, and they didn't send money back home. They didn't do all these things. Now they're coming in, they're sending all their money back home, so it's not circulating in the economy, and all these things. Like I see it all the time when I go to the meat market here. All these Mexicans there just sending all their paycheck. And I was like, so what is it? That's why I love when Trump did the remittance tax. Um, I was like, yes, tax them 100%. I would be like, yeah, you send $500 home, we charge you $500. Be reasonable, 70%. I don't care. Like you can't. And India gets most of their money from that. Like 1/3 of their economy comes from America,
Oh,
from
really?
them sending money back home. Yeah, I think it was about 1/3 or something like that. I might be a little off, but
I'll have to look it up.
it was a good chunk of money that comes from America. So yeah, I just think it's been a failure by just and I don't know, man. I know conservatives love Reagan and they throw him on that pedestal, but his amnesty act was a terrible idea. It just backfired completely. California went blue and never turned red again, and it's just been a shit show ever since. It did not deter illegals from coming in. It actually exacerbated it and incentivized it, and that's what happened.
That's a good point. And that was only like, I think that was only like 3 or 4 million people illegals at the time.
Yes,
Not the
it was about three or four ish around there,
yeah,
and
not the 30 million today.
I know now they're just like, come on in, here you go. Here's an EBT card, here's your Obama phone, and here's your keys to your shit apartment. So you can be pissed off at us because you're gonna say we don't treat you. And that's basically what it's come down to. So I wanted to because I know it's getting late, and I want to actually talk about the No King's Day. How did that go? Um, would you say where you're at is it a very liberal city? And any threats or anything, any causes like of violence or anything crazy that you saw there?
No, I was just there for a little bit, and I showed up like an hour late, unfortunately. But there was still quite a bit of people there, as you can see in my video. Salt Lake is a liberal city. but the whole state is pretty conservative. And so I think they're not as nutty as, say, like Portland or Oregon or California. So I just saw, like I said, of course, some delusion with calling Trump a fascist and everything we don't like is fascist and blah, blah, blah. And where people who, oh, no one's illegal on stolen land, but
I
like,
hate
it's
that one.
like,
I
well,
hate-
you think it's stolen, why don't you leave? No, I just want the whole world to come here so we can, make our neighborhoods more violent. Okay, whatever. But yeah, just mainly saw some delusion and a bunch of people in inflatables. But there was those stereotypical grungy looking, you could tell they're looking for violence type people walking around in masks, like in Antifa type people. And
Okay.
I don't know if you know this. So Utah is pretty nonviolent, but during BLM in Salt Lake, some of the BLM protesters went and like burned and trashed some cars. And the Salt Lake mayor, some of the cops after said that they had received a stand down order to not do anything against the protesters. And so they kind of just let it happen. And then even after the protest, the No Kings rally, they had a bunch of protesters going down, walking out in the middle of the street. And like, it seems like the cops didn't do anything, of course, again, because it's, like I said, the Salt Lake police are kind of, they're ruled by a left-wing mayor. And so if it supports our side, then we'll let them break the law a little bit. But
Yeah, I really hate the argument that nobody's illegal on stolen land. It's so stupid. Now, if you want to go back to the historical aspect of it, yeah, Polk was a dick when he took over Texas, and like President Polk was they were arguing between the boundaries in Texas, and we did that war, but it wasn't stolen, and also Santa Anna was a dictator. It wasn't like a good person either. He would have done the same thing it had, and he signed a treaty, and it was over. And yeah, we got that land, and and this is so long ago, man. This is crazy long ago, and these people still use that stupid argument, and it's so dumb. It has no relevance to today, and yeah, I just can't stand it. But that's one of the things I did want to say is um, if you were really protesting a fascist, a dictator, a king, an authoritarian, all that, why would you wouldn't be this happy to do it? Like you see people, yeah, and they're inflatables, and I'm gonna show a video that you took a dude with his taco hat. I if I was there, I would have just gave him shit. I would have been like, "Sir, that's very racist. Since I'm a Hispanic person, I feel like you're mocking me and talk." I would have just fucked with him. But I'm gonna go ahead and show that video because it's so silly, and it's like these people should not be taken serious ever. And let's go ahead and check it out. There we go.
Hey, tell the people what a fascist is.
You're looking at one right here.
All right, the people who don't know, explain to them what he did that's fascism.
What he did that's fascism? Well, he's made it so the media has to be approved. They can't, do any negative press.
What about like the majority of like CNN and all that? They still run whatever they want.
Well, they can, but they, like the Pentagon just made it so that they have to, go to press briefings. They have to sign a pledge, and most people said no. So,
Okay.
They're not allowed in the printing history.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You worried about this considering Charlie Kirk just got killed?
No.
Inciting more violence?
No, that's ridiculous. This is just for fun.
That's just for fun?
Yep.
Yes, thank
What if
you.
it said punch a commie, punch a liberal? Oh, look at that. Oh, she looks like a nice lady, but she thinks it's so funny. Yeah.
I do want to say exactly. He said the quiet part out loud. It's just for fun. Like it's just a bunch of old hippies that really miss protesting the Vietnam War, and they're like, "Yeah, it's time to go back out there." And that dude doesn't look that old for the Vietnam War, but he's just an idiot that doesn't even know what fascism is. On top of that, he's just like talking about we can't first of all, he got all these things wrong. He doesn't know fascism. He said that nobody could talk bad about Trump, which, I mean, come on. I mean, we all know.
Majority of press is left wing.
And then also he said they had to sign a paper to actually document what's going on. No, what happened was Pete Hegseth said all these reporters are coming in. There's so many leaks going on because these people are coming in without having like any kind of a like sign in or anything like that. And he's saying what you're gonna have to do when you come to the Pentagon, you're gonna have to sign in and you're gonna have to fucking follow our rules. And that's what's gonna happen. And then everybody freaked out because journalists, they're a bunch of divas. And yeah. So what were you thinking when you were interviewing that guy?
Just that I knew that they weren't going to have any good definition of a fascist. And then the evidence, of course, is very weak. We're not going to allow a bunch of left-wing reporters. Who knows if they're even citizens or spies of Russia or China or Israel, going around snooping around the Pentagon. Like, I didn't know they had that much freedom in the Pentagon, because if someone comes on base, you got to have an escort. And so, but yeah, and then of course the hypocrisy of, it's just for a bunch of fascists. He didn't spell fascist correctly either.
Oh, I didn't even notice. He didn't even spell it correctly.
Yeah, he spent all that time and he didn't spell it correctly. But
he spelled it with a PH.
Yeah, I think he spelled fascist.
Oh, but just thinking of that, the other day, they have this little area. It's in like the really Hispanic side of town over here in San Antonio, the south side. And they've been doing this, like there's a big bridge that goes over the highway, and they've been putting like these signs lately, right? And they put release the Epstein files. And all the goddamn beaners can't even spell. Like, come on, if you're gonna put up a sign, at least spell check it. Come on, you're killing me here. You're making us all look like idiots.
I know.
We all look like pendejos right now. Like, I was like, they're terrible. But
his
go ahead.
Yeah, my video cut out a little early because after I asked him how would you feel, he said punch a commie or punch a liberal, and he like paused for a second because in my opinion he was like, oh, I guess I wouldn't like that, but then he was like, no, it's fine, after he paused for a couple of seconds. But yeah, that's the problem, is they call anybody who doesn't they don't agree with a fascist, and then they encourage violence towards fascists. And then you look at our Jewish supremacist dominated media in Hollywood, which all the videos are against Nazis, and it's okay to be violent towards them. It's okay to kill them. Nothing about communists, even though we also fought war against communism, and communism did the same thing Hitler did after World War II, start gobbling up other countries.
Way worse than Hitler did.
Yeah.
Way worse. That's the one thing people don't understand. If you look at Lenin and you look at the Bolshevik Revolution, I mean, this dude killed millions and millions upon millions of people. And he even said, I want them to die of starvation because then they're going to lose their faith in God. And once they lose their faith in God, who are they going to trust? The state. And that's the one thing that drives me crazy, is you get these people that say, I hate the government. I don't trust these motherfuckers. I don't like them at all. We need to implement communism. And I'm like, it makes me so mad. What you say with the sheep, it's like, do you not know in communism you give all your power to the state? And like Mao Zedong, you're talking about all these Popeye, like all these communists that just killed off their whole population. It's like, if we were to implement that, you're all outside, breaking rocks, like all of y'all are gonna be out there breaking rocks with everybody else. And it sounds like, it always sounds good right now. Oh, we're a classless society, everybody's the same. But in just a room, you could get 10 people. Like I mean, you could get 5 people. I'm even gonna go extreme with it. You get 5 people, and I guarantee you're gonna be like, dude, there's one of those 5 that's gonna be just lazy, doesn't do nothing, and you're gonna be like, I'm tired of picking up the slack from this dude. Imagine that in a country where, what are we, like 350 million or somewhere around there? Yeah, and imagine a country like that. How is that gonna look? Free healthcare, just stuff your face with ho-hos and ding dongs and Cheetos and Takis and all that, because we can't take those off of Snap because that's racist. Imagine that the healthcare system free, everything free, this free, and it's like, bro, it's just not gonna work ever. It's a recipe for a disaster. And we have, like, empirical evidence already. It's not like we have to like really, oh, how is this going to look? No, just look at all the places that have implemented this system, and you'll see what happened. And it's like, yeah, it's not like a guess. You're not guesstimating. Oh, maybe like this could. It's like, go to Venezuela, it's right there. Go to Brazil, what they're doing now. Like they're. I mean, it's all over the place for us to see. And yeah, I just it makes me sick.
Real. No, I agree. Like I said, these people, to get an echo chamber. That's why we always have to challenge these false ideas because they've never really dealt with it. And that's why they respond with the hatred and the insults and the personal attacks, which Charlie Kirk frequently encountered just for trying to have a civil disagreement. And I'm sure you've encountered that. I've encountered it. And it's really the mental fragility is, oh, I was taught that this was the only truth and you're saying against it, but it's making sense and I don't know what to say. And so now I'm going to freak out and throw a tantrum like a child and insult you personally.
Logic has no place here, sir. Don't be a bigot and a racist. Don't be a racist.
If a man can be a woman, then yes, logic has no
Yeah.
place here. Sheep. Ridiculous.
I wanted to show this, but I actually like this sign. I mean, this sign is it's pretty cool. It says "Chinga tu maga." Props to that guy. Hey, we would probably disagree on everything, but I love that sign. That's funny. All right, let's check this out.
There we go. Freaking migrant can't even speak English in America. Get out of our country then. Bunch of parasites. ICE is the American Gestapo because they protect themselves from being doxxed and terrorized, which liberals incited. Very nice. Delusion.
I hate that too. I've seen this a lot of times. You have people that come in, do not even try. Like I said before, if you're gonna come into a country, you need to try to assimilate. When I moved to Japan, the first year I had just moved from Thailand. I was in Thailand for like 3 years, and I was like, I'm not learning another language right now. Like I learned Thai pretty well, and it's very Maya and all that shit. And I was just like, I'm tired. I don't want to learn it. And I spoke all right Spanish before I left, and then my Spanish is terrible now. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just for like a year, I'm not gonna even try. And I did like 6 months, and I was like, okay, I got to learn Japanese. But I knew if I was gonna stay there longer, I was like, okay, I'm gonna adapt to the way they did things and everything else. Now my friends go with me, and the way I act in Japan is way different the way I act here. And my friends will say, like, damn, you're like very different here. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I'm in their country. I'm gonna follow their rules, the way they act, the way they talk, the way they do things. And that's just showing respect to the people that are housing you and letting you in their country because they don't have to let you in. It's like if I go to your house and you have a certain rule, then I'm gonna follow that rule. And if I don't like that rule, if I feel it's against everything I believe in, I'm just not gonna go to your house. It's not that hard. Like it's not that hard. And yeah, I agree. These people need to assimilate, and they need to. And the whole Gestapo thing, that's what starts a lot of these doxing to that turns into violence and everything else. And yeah, how was there any attitudes towards you because you said stuff like that?
Um, Nah, you mainly saw when I was disagreeing with people, and like since I was by myself and there was a whole bunch of them and some people who looked like masked people looking like they're looking for violence. I was just keeping it chill and just asking questions. Um, like I said, some of them like they're nice people. They just have horrible ideas and well, they come off as nice because then I saw like this one lady who went up to the punch a fascist guy and she was like laughing and oh let me take a picture and she looks like she might just be a very friendly nice lady that lives next door but she's over here thinking it's funny like his sign and to be violent and everything and
Mm.
so they might appear from what I've seen people can either be warriors or they're supporters. Not everyone's a warrior like that old lady or that lady isn't going to go out and put a mask on and go assault people, but she probably supports it. She obviously supports punch a fascist, punch Trump. And so a lot of people may not be doing things, but they are supporting it. And that's why we
Yeah.
need to constantly speak up and challenge them, and not just talk. I think that's one of the weaknesses on the right is there's just too much talking. But we need more protests, more rallies, more asking for change, more asking that extremists get fired from their jobs, get fired from their positions. Ask that our politicians do something. So after Charlie Kirk was murdered, I don't think the right did anything. I feel like it was all the politicians, at least. I feel like it was all just people like you and me and normal people that were getting people fired for celebrating his murder. And so it's like you had this national. It's like George Floyd when he got killed. The left took that and they made all these changes in all these states with the law, and the right, the Republican legislators, they didn't do anything. They didn't say, "Oh my gosh, we need to like ban all the extremism, the left wing extremism from colleges." They just, it's like they didn't do anything with all that momentum in order to prevent something like this in the future.
Oh yeah. I mean, you best believe if anybody on the right shot a left wing political analysis, I mean, the commentator or whatever that is, you best believe there would be fucking hell to pay on the right. I mean, they would be. I mean, look at what happened with January 6th. I mean, we don't even have to, honestly, when I don't even know why I said that. We didn't have to think about it because it happened. Look at what happened with January 6th. They said we're gonna shut this shit down, and they did. They're like, we shut it down. Everybody online, whoever's saying anything, they got people that were not even at the Capitol. They were putting them in jail, and they were like, nobody's safe. We're gonna just. They went on this campaign of raids and all kinds, like it was all a fucking dog and pony show. They're just like, yeah, here you go. Look at this guy. March him in the walk of shame. Put him in solitary confinement. And we saw what they did, and we saw they started putting parents that were talking about the curriculum on the watch list. They started putting people in the church. I mean, it was everything. Like they were just going all out, and we saw what they did. Imagine if they had just total control, we would be China. Like we would turn into China overnight. If you had AOCs and all that had just unlimited control, and we didn't have the Constitution. And they only use the Constitution when it's in their favor. They never use it like ever. They just never care for it, and it's insane like to even think about that. Before you go though, because I know it's getting late, I do want to ask you: did you see what Candace said about the whole Charlie Kirk and Trump and all that?
Which video? Because I know she highlighted me for talking to the news, and one of the other governor candidates in Utah for talking to the news.
She highlighted you?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah, because she was like, here are the people who talk to the news. Oh, look at this guy. He was actually a candidate for governor. And look at this other guy. He was a candidate for governor. And he's acting fishy and blah, 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 which is Phil Lyman, which he should have been governor, but
oh wow, I did. Oh, so okay, I gotta ask because that's crazy. How does that feel? Like somebody that popular with that much, like momentum behind them. How did that feel to be called out by her? I could just imagine. I would be like, whoa, shit, this is crazy.
No, it's pretty cool, but like I said, yeah, I mean, she was just. I mean, I know she's been looking at everything and connecting to the murder, and so she didn't really say anything, but it was almost implied like none of these people reached out to me, but they're the ones who talk to the press. And I'm like, I didn't know you wanted to talk to me.
Don't forget. It's always the Jews' fault with Ken. She's just like, hey, the meat got a little pricier. It's a goddamn Jews. God damn it. That's all she ever goes to. It's like, Candace, chill, man, chill. You need to like, and I agree, man. I'm not a big fan of AIPAC. I know AIPAC's not the only one. You have Qatar, you have Saudi Arabia. We have a Saudi Arabia office in San Antonio, Texas. In Lackland. Like it's a yeah, they've had it for years, since forever now. I don't remember when it actually happened, but like what Qatar's doing now, how they're making a big deal. We've done that many times. It's not like I don't know if you heard about that, where Qatar's going to have like an office in one of the bases.
Oh yeah, to help train them on the
yes.
F-22.
Yeah, like basically like they're gonna have something. Well, we've been doing that in San Antonio, Texas, for a long time with Saudis. Yeah, so it's not like it's a new thing, but people, they just do. And I'm not a fan of Qatar either. I'm not a fan of Israel. I think they've done some shady things to get us involved in all their mess as well. But I'm not like out there just Jew hating all day like Kanye and Candace. But she basically blamed Trump. We'll go ahead and look at this real fast. And if I could find that video where she called you out, that'd be awesome. I would love to see it, but I don't know if I find it. But let's go ahead and watch this.
Just really needed to just take a breather and really process everything that happened with Charlie and what it kind of means in terms of where we are. And I think it is a circumstance where we just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. It serves us or it doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, if they try to give me a holiday, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? Why is that a thing? You know what I mean? Like, oh, Martin Luther King, what about this holiday? What about this boulevard? Anyways, let me knock off. Like, they're going to give Charlie Kirk a boulevard. They already did. They did in Israel. They gave him freaking boulevard. It's like, as soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. Okay, there's no question. They killed you. There's no way. That's like their signature thing. It's like that's what they do. It's the Fed signature. It's how they sign off after they murder you. So like holiday and a boulevard. And it's never on a nice side of town either. Like Charlie Kirk Boulevard is not going to be a nice side of town. Anyways, I will be back on the 27th, you guys. Thank you guys.
So that's what she's saying now. Now she's implicating Trump killed Charlie Kirk with the Israelis, and people are saying she's gonna find a way to say I didn't really say that. You just think that, but she's implying it, and pretty wild claims. And Candace, she always has receipts. I have receipts, and then she goes, "Look at this text message I sent them." And he left me on red. That means I'm on the truth. I'm on the path to truth. It's like, Candace, come on. You're crazy sometimes. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, I listened to one of her things the other day, and I'm not like listening to her every day, but I started to a little more since she put me on her website, and I was like, hey, I didn't know you wanted to talk to me. But she did bring up some good points that it seems like she's been like the only one on the right that's still investigating. And obviously I think there was some weird stuff going on, and she mentioned some weird stuff. I mean, I don't think everything is, hard-hitting evidence, but she did mention some things.
The text messages?
Oh yeah, there was people with the killer's text messages, and then
no, she kind of outed a lot of the people with the text messages where Charlie was saying like these Jewish donors are like basically playing into the stereotype and all that, and they did have to the people that are with Turning Point had to come out and say, yeah, those text messages are real. So I do agree with you. Like, she does say some things, but then she always says I have receipts, and those receipts are never receipts. They're just I texted somebody and they said this. But I do like it because there's no way in hell every time Cash Patel opens his mouth, this dude's just fucking lying to us. Like, he's just lying. Oh yeah, it was just one lone gunman. Like, there's too much evidence saying that that's not the truth. And I like that she investigates things, but I also don't like that she makes claims that she has no evidence of.
Yeah, and I think it was odd that like right after he gets shot, UVU replaces like all the grass in that area, and they put cement down.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like immediately after. And I guess the investigation was also done within like a day or so.
Yeah, it was very quick. Or
at least
like,
at the UVU.
Do you know why they would put cement? Like, what would that do? I mean, I have no clue in that.
I don't know if maybe they have. I don't even think they have a lot of speakers there, because he was on grass. I mean, when I was there, it didn't really look dead, but I don't know. I just find it weird that they did that, because I mean, they said, oh, there was the bullet was caught in his neck and it didn't escape. But then there's those videos. I don't know if they're real or AI, where it looks like a fragment shoots up into the air. And then they had the whole area fenced off too. They might still today. I mean, I know cement takes a little bit to dry, but I don't think it takes like a month. And so it's just, yeah, and it was, yeah, just kind of odd. And that and some other stuff. And like Candace said, the killer was seen with a woman, but nobody really knows who the woman was. And then,
Oh, the one that he met outside, yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of fishy stuff about it, and I hate that because I wish we could trust the FBI, but unfortunately we can't. And I don't know what it is with Cash Patel. I thought he was gonna be like a bulldog when he got in, and it just seems like he's a little fucking puppy. He's not doing at all what we kind of wanted. Like we really pushed it on X, and everywhere we're like, get Patel, get Patel. I mean, I was like, yes, turn the fucking FBI building into a museum of the deep state, like you said. I want that shit. I want the Patel that wrote that book. What is it? The political mafia, or I forgot what it was. Man, it was a while back when I read it, but it's something about, like, with politics of being like mobsters and all that. And he was very, Epstein, this and that, and he just kind of just shies away from everything now, and it's very disappointing. And with the Charlie Kirk thing, he was all like, "I'll see you in Valhalla" and all that. I was like, "Okay, he's gonna do real deep investigation. We need to see like what's gonna happen." And it's like we just get this little soy boy, fucking, you know, oatmeal fucking eating prick, and it's like, really, he's the only one. And then the text messages to his tranny boyfriend. It's just like, that just seems really off. Come on, like, something has to give, man. And there's more to the story, and we're just not getting it, and it is frustrating for sure.
yeah, and seeing Trump and Cash Patel both not be about releasing the Epstein list, it's like, well, how can you trust them with any connections to Israel? And of course, I forget what it was. No, the Anti-Defamation League used to work with the ADL. I mean, the ADL used to work with the FBI to train all their agents on anti-Semitism, even though, majority white country and they don't get trained on anti-white hate. But, and Candace said that one of the offices, the ADL, is right across the hallway from the FBI. And so,
There is a lot of fishy stuff with the whole Israel, and I think, and Trump, when he was the other day, he was saying like, "Oh, I should pardon Bibi," and it's like, what are you like, what? And then he did that one thing with that Jewish billionaire. He goes, "She's an American too," and he says, "Oh, I asked her, I forgot her name," and he goes, "I asked her about who does she love more, Israel or America?" And she didn't answer, and I think she likes Israel but better. And it's like, is that supposed to be funny? That's a shit joke. Like, usually he's funny, but it's like, bro, so you're basically saying the woman that donates hundreds of millions of dollars, like, you're very, very much saying the quiet part out loud again, like, just like the Democrats do, you're doing it too. You're saying the woman that gives hundreds of millions of dollars to Republicans is a fucking Israel first woman. I mean, she's an Israel first person. So why are we taking anything she says seriously, and why is she even here? Get the fuck out of here. Like, no place for you here. And like I said, nobody wants to hate Israel, but they just put a lot of things on themselves to make you like, everything has to be anti-Semitic. You can't say nothing. It's almost like black people. Anytime you say something towards a black person, you're a racist, right? You're a racist. And like, no, it's just you. I'm talking about you, not all black people. I'm talking about you, you Jewish, like you Jew, like not all Jews. And
yeah,
you Jew, not even making sense. You as a Jewish person, or you as a person, and not all the Jews. And that is unfortunate that I think the big awakening is, it's been coming out for a while, and a lot of people are noticing like Israel has their teeth in us, and the government, and every policy that we make, and it's becoming more and more evident. And people are getting real pissed off, man. And once the boomers are out of here, and I'm not saying I want them to die, but once they die off, everybody dies. You're gonna see Israel. I mean, I feel like you're gonna see Israel like the love for them and everything else kind of dwindle down. I don't know. What do you think? You think that's gonna happen?
Yeah, I think. Well, thankfully, Elon Musk bought Twitter, so that is the most free platform. And then Zuckerberg kind of followed a little bit, but he's
That dude talk
still,
about sheep.
yeah, he's still, you know, a big Jewish donor, and his platform is still kind of, left wing and etc. But thankfully, because Elon Musk bought that, free speech, it kind of trickled down to some other places. But now, of course, oh yeah, so Nancy Pelosi, I saw a video of her with one of the Republican congressmen, and she's like, "Well, the one thing we at least always agree on is Israel," which just shows their control over both parties,
Oh,
because
for sure.
the right and left will pretty much disagree on everything except Israel, and then the majority of both parties' congressmen are funded by AIPAC. We give billions to Israel; it turns around and buys our politicians. I mean, it's just like they're destroying us with our own money, which is just that communism again.
Yeah, and that's for sure. I mean, both parties. I mean, they APAC doesn't just donate to Republicans. I mean, they donate a shitload to Jeffries. Like one of the top Democrats. They donate to everybody. And they definitely. I mean, with the whole, I think, what was his name? Matt Gates came out talking about how they kind of put like a little thing on you, like a little QR code, and they like a check in, see if they like you and how much money they're gonna give you. And that definitely has to stop, man. That definitely has to stop. And it's it's crazy. I mean, how many countries did it get kicked out of? Like 150 countries, like like before. And it's like I don't know, man. I'm not like I don't hate anybody, but I also can notice a pattern of behavior, and it got to be, and it has to be recognized, and it has to be dealt with in a manner of, okay, who are you for? Are you for our people, or are you for theirs? Because we can't do both, and we both have different like pathways to what we consider paradise, and yeah, it's just not working out, and a lot of people are noticing now, and but I also don't like when people put things together like where everything's the Jews. I don't like that. It just gets to the point like, all right, dude, it's getting tiresome already. I don't think they're going all out like in that way, because when you look at like all the stuff the Jews have implemented, like the trans, the gay stuff, all that. I mean, they're the ones pushing that on everybody. The open borders, they come out and say, yeah, we're gonna bring in a bunch of immigrants to your country. It's like, okay, are they a fucking ally? It doesn't seem that way. If a friend treated us the way Israel treats America, we wouldn't be friends with that person. Let's put it that way.
And then you look at how they don't want a bunch of the Palestinians in Israel. They don't want a bunch of immigrants in Israel. And then I think it
Send them
was
to America.
yeah, and then they push like interracial marriages with white people at least. And then the ADL guy was recently caught that, oh, we need to make sure that our women are sticking with Jewish men. It's like the hypocrisy once again. The hypocrisy is a sign of supremacy, and there's definitely a bunch of Jewish supremacy going on, not only in America but in the West, to destroy our nations.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Um, and that's the one thing when you talk about that, you have other people that talk about Muslims like in a better way, and it's like, no, the Muslims are also just as bad. Like, you see what they're doing. Like, they're like, if you really want to, like, you see Europe, what's happening to Europe, and it's insane that anybody would even consider, like, yeah, let's bring more of that in. Let's keep importing that ideology. Like, these people are crazy, man, and it's a death cult that that should have no place in the Western world, especially America. Like, no, like, we're not doing this shit, or Sharia could get the fuck out of here. And I know, I love Tucker Carlson. I think he's great. But I remember one time he was talking about Sharia law like it's not a big deal. He's like, oh wow, I mean, look at no crime and all this, and it's like, okay, if you wanna go that route, Tucker, like I mean, you sound like an idiot right now. Like I don't agree with that at all. But I also don't agree with I don't it just because two things could be right at the same time, right? Like a lot of Israel stuff's happening and it's bad for our country, and also a lot of Muslim stuff because they use propaganda just as bad as Israel does, and the Jews out there, and it's like, yeah, they're both. How about we just clean our hands from both of them and fuck off, and worry about ourselves and everybody else that has the same moral compass as us, that has the same like pathway to success that we feel that we're gonna do it. And I know we got to do stuff with other countries, but we don't need to call them an ally and just send them just unlimited checks and think that that's gonna solve the problem.
It's like those memes, like, oh, there's violence, there's homeless in the streets. What are we gonna do to fix it? And then the president, I have the solution. Send $20 billion to Israel.
send another 30 billion to them. Fuck it, it'll take care of it. And it's so true. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? And then we're funding both sides all the time. This is one thing, and I guess I know I'll just say a brief little thing about it. When Trump was talking about he's sending CIA operatives to go to Venezuela, automatically my antennas went up, and I hear CIA because there's nothing CIA has ever done in my mind that has been beneficial to us. It's only beneficial to them. That I feel very, very adamant about, like CIA. What is their purpose other than to destabilize regions, bring all that shit to us, and just enrich themselves and kind of give themselves more power? And they like Mossad, MI, what is it, MI6? I'm probably getting that wrong. MI6, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Damn, it's been a while since I mentioned them. They're also the involved in the whole. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, they're also involved in the Epstein stuff. So Mossad, MI6, CIA, all those intelligence agencies that these countries have, they've done nothing but destabilize regions and cause a bunch more problems for the countries that they represent. And they don't even represent us; they represent themselves. They're just these unchecked organizations that just do whatever it takes to get money, power, and whatever they want. And I don't like when Trump said, oh, we have CIA operatives. Like, what? Like, no, bro. Like, let's not do that. We've seen it happen in Guatemala, all these other places. Like, let's pump the brakes on that. I don't think Venezuela is a good place, but I don't want to. It's like what we did with Gaddafi, what we did with Saddam. I mean, killing Saddam was one of the worst things we could have done. I mean, the whole region went to shit after. I mean, he's not a good person either. When you say that, people just assume, oh, he's a good guy, or you're backing him up. No, he's a terrible guy, but he kept the dogs in check.
He did.
Yeah, and once he killed him, it just destabilized that whole region, and we're still suffering the consequences from that shit.
Yeah.
And it's just.
It's like the only one who benefited from the Iraq War and the Afghan War really was Israel.
Because
It's
we
like how did what they're doing really affect us here in America? Not really. And then we grew up with this Jewish supremacist Israeli propaganda. Well, they're our greatest ally in the Middle East. It's like, no, Jordan's our ally, Qatar is our ally, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, uh, Egypt, a bunch of those countries are our ally, and we have bases in their country because we also are a security force for them against some of the crazier Muslims. And so it's just a propaganda. And reminds me of one of my Marine friends. I asked him what he thought about the wars now, given that it's been this much later. He's like, honestly, I just wish I had my friends back. And I think, I'm thinking, what, now that I know more than I did back then, like, what did they really die for? In my
So we
opinion,
could smuggle in a bunch of opium from Afghanistan. I mean,
yeah,
that's what we're
in my
doing.
opinion, it was only to benefit. Israel's really the only winner after the Iraq and Afghan war.
Of course, yeah, and it's
And they didn't even send any soldiers to fight and help the rest of our allies, like America, Australia, everyone else. I think they only sent people to like consult, but they didn't send any soldiers to risk their lives.
Yeah, it is terrible. I mean, now especially now a lot of people are actually looking into the 9/11, and you're talking about the dancing, Israelis videotaping the whole
Yeah,
situation. You're
I
talking about like
smiling
those.
faces too. Oh yeah, the tower just got hit. Oh,
Yeah, and then on top of that, in one of the buildings they had an Israeli like kind of art group, and there were kind of spies, Mossad spies, and all that, and it's all just. I feel like BB's over. He's overplayed his hand, man, and I think it's gonna come back at him. And you just have a lot of the old people that still have that that Judeo-Christian propaganda bullshit. Like we're all one. It's like
it's
okay.
like what the Jews didn't found America. It was Christians.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like the way Tucker just like just straight up made Ted Cruz look like an idiot because Ted Cruz didn't know what he was talking about. And I like Ted Cruz. I'm not like a fanboy of him, but I do like him and I think he does some good stuff. But
Yeah,
just him saying we just back up Israel because I read my Bible and it's this and because I read my Bible. Like Israel's a person, it's not a fucking place if you read the Bible. And then on top of that, it's like you're just backing up like they're like that toxic friend that just gets in fights all the time, and you have to continue. Fuck, man, this dude got in another fight. I got to go back him up, and at some point, you got to cut that cancer off, man. That friend, like, hey, bro, like you're getting me into too much shit. You're causing all kinds of problems. You're and then on top of that, you're treating us like shit. I think Tucker was saying after I forgot what it was. After the Iran bombing, which was a pretty fucking badass mission that they did. They flew how many hours? Like 20 some hours or what. I forgot how many hours it was. But the Israeli representatives were going in the Pentagon yelling at some of the American people and telling them like, "Oh, I need this done, I need this done." And it's
oh,
like, yeah, and it's crazy. Like, how are they able to just do this shit without being who are you? First of all, and second of all, get the fuck out of here. Like get out of here with that shit. Like and yeah, a lot of things need to change, man. And I mean, I like Trump and I would vote for him again, but still, I would vote for him again because there's nobody better. Like Kamala is
yeah.
a terrible disaster,
Oh
and
yeah.
Trump has. I thought he was gonna be just this crazy brand, like he's gonna really go at it, and it just seems like now, they started like, oh, if you don't do this, you're not gonna. If you don't, if you do anything to anti-Semitic, you're not gonna get FEMA money. I remember that like those stick. If you do this, the Jewish like anti-Semitic laws now are just getting more and more radical, and it's like, bro, like that's we should be able to talk about anybody in this country. There's nobody that's off limits, and I don't like it. I think it's bad for the country. I think again, like what you said, yeah. This whole propaganda train of Israel needs to stop, and it needs to like we need like a real champion to like say, all right, all this shit needs to go. Like it has to go. We want to like move forward as a country and actually care about our own people, but that's too much to ask for our politicians.
Yep. Trump was the most promising in a while, and then he got to office, and it's almost like we elected Netanyahu to be president of the U.S.
Yeah, it's
Like
been.
Trump, he comes across, you see him as like an alpha male, a fighter, and everything, but then when it comes to Israel, I feel like BB's on top, pulling the strings.
And I have no idea why. Like, why would you sell out your base? Why would you sell out the promises like the legendary status you could go down under for somebody? Like, what is it? You have all the money in the world, like he said. The one thing I liked about him, you look at his old like 2015 speeches. He's like, you can't buy me. You can't buy me. Like that's one thing about him, and that's one thing I loved. And that turned out to be. I don't know, man. I mean, I still like the man. I think he's done some great things, but that's one thing that it's going to be a stain on his candidates. I mean, in his presidency. That and the Epstein list are going to be two major blotches on his presidency, and they're not going to go away.
Yep, and just imagine how much more he could do cleaning up our streets and getting the Marxism out of our colleges and out of the press if he wasn't, being whipped by Israel.
I feel like he's done a little bit though with that. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he's
sitting
done
in the
good.
guard. Yeah, he's done more
Oh,
than any other person I feel that would do anything. But I mean,
imagine how much more if he wasn't
yeah,
distracted by Israel. That's what I'm trying.
yeah. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
I am grateful for what he's done there, though. That's good.
Yeah. It's almost one of those things. It's like if you've been, and I'm not saying you haven't, but if you've been following politics for a long time, you know you're not going to get everything. You know, you got to get those little wins, and the wins he's been providing have been major wins. You know, like they've been some pretty good wins in the right direction. And I'm not sure if it's just like, I think a lot of people in those positions are compromised and to just an insane degree. And the one thing I don't want to be like a nihilist and be like it's all shit, it's all crap, and I hate it. Like Dave Smith, where everything's terrible all the time. Dave Smith is like, I'm always right because he just goes against everything. And like anything, any decision somebody makes, it's gonna have some kind of negative reaction to it. And he's like, well, that's why I told you. And it's like, yeah, of course you have a great record on this because you don't stand for anything. You just stand for saying no. You're a no man. There's a problem with yes men, and then there's a problem with no men. Like you would never make any decision ever. Just like, and I don't like that. But I also feel, yeah, he could do a lot more for sure, 100%. And I'm not gonna let him off with oh yeah, he's great and just fucking 100%. Everything he does is gold, and he's playing 8D chess or whatever they say. But yeah, I mean, he's still a lot better than the opposition, which is Kamala Harris, 100% in that way. But yeah, man. Hopefully, Scott, are you gonna do more groundwork, or what's in your future before we let you go here?
Yep, just to continue, try and make more videos and be more consistent with that. Try and become a better influence, not just to change minds, but to cause change, because that's really what it's about: improving our nation, eradicating Marxism from government, from education, from the media.
Right on, brother. I really hope you can. I do the same. We make those like 5 days a week, man. Depending.
Dang,
I make I make quite a bit.
nice.
Long videos as well. Oh yeah. So, but yeah, we try. I try to do a lot. I do a lot by myself because the people I do it with are usually they work early. But oh my god, sorry for that. It's loud as hell. But no, I try to do that quite often, and then in the weekends we kind of all get together and act the fool. But it gets very very dark. We act like idiots. If you're like a man of faith, you're probably gonna be like, God, these guys are assholes. But no, we just have fun. Where you're in the military, you know how
I was in the Marine Corps. I know.
Yeah.
I know what free speech is.
Yeah. I was gonna say all my roommates were Marines, bro, and they're like the worst people on the planet. Like when not worse in that way, but like when we're joking around, oh my god, the shit I could tell you. I was in Oceanside about 2.5 years, yeah. And then the crazy stuff that we got into all the time. We used to go to Chula Vista, Tijuana, Pacific Beach. Pacific PB was my favorite. You have all these places, and it was fun, man. Being around those guys, I mean, just fucking animals, and we're all young. We're like 23, 24. Not even that. We're probably like 22, 23 at that time. It was always a fun time, but hopefully we can catch back up with you, Scott, and kind of see and all the progress that you're doing. I mean, all the progress that you're making and all the good things that you're doing on the floor. And keep us in touch. I mean, keep in touch with us, and hopefully we could kind of see some of your new videos, and you could give us like some backstory and insight on some of those things. But definitely, I want to thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it, especially making the time where I made a mistake earlier on the sketch.
That happens.
But I do appreciate it, man. I want to show your thing one more time. Go ahead and follow him. Let me make sure I'm here with you. I'll get to the messages. Where we at? And if you ever go on Candace, bro, you got to tell me about that experience.
Okay, I don't know if I will. I didn't really have anything for her, but
Yeah, that's crazy. She called you out. But right here, his Instagram is West Christ AG. X the same thing, and
yeah,
TikTok WCAG
yeah.
1776.
Hopefully that one will be updated later too. But the Instagram's that main one that has the others.
Okay, so Instagram more. You're more on Instagram.
Yeah, well, I posted on that one first, so it got more views. But I'm posting to all of them when I post now.
Yes, so go ahead and follow him here, and if you have any questions, you could go directly to him. And give support as much as you can to the people that are starting off and trying to change minds and kind of stop this whole violent uprising that's going on against people on the right and anybody that has a different view from these leftist lunatics.
For real.
Any last words, Chris? I mean, Scott. Sorry, I was thinking of Christ, the Chris.
That's it, right.
Any last words, Scott?
No, I appreciate you having me on, and it was a pleasure meeting you, John. And say keep up the good work, and I hope your account continues to grow as well.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully we can both grow and we can come back and every now and then and have a little chat and talk some BS and see where the world's headed, the direction the world's headed in, and hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow, Friday. We'll be in the studio. Go ahead and follow Scott on Instagram and have a good one. Peace.